to the 200th touchdown of his career. This is one of 89 touchdown is to the and he covered a 200.
That is amazing. Yeah, they go and they kick and they dunk and they throw the short and you think they're not going to go deep because Gary Fox can't go deep anymore. Then boom, they hit you with the deep ball. You look for the second half to go up to just go wrong. There's the result. That would be a lot of time. You need just that. That's a lot of Started down and back forward. He's a blink once he holds it in.
A strike from King over the middle. Porter, touchdown.
Yo, what's good? Welcome everybody to another episode of Raiders Unleashed. I am that guy. Couldn't leave that fool like that. Welcome. Camp is heating up. The season is getting closer. If y'all are pumped for the season, man, let me get a thumbs up in the chat. If you can't get a thumbs up, just type hell yeah. Raiders Unleashed, type something, man. Let me know that you're pumped for the season, that you can't wait for the season to start. As well as I, opening day in New England, a strong team that looks really good in the preseason, putting up points on everybody. Their defense is nasty. their special teams is nasty. Everything about them is nasty. So we're gonna have to go in there and be nastier, right? Be the nastiest, the old school Raiders, old school style. And I think we're starting to build that mentality, man. I think Landon Roberts in the middle, laying the wood. Guys like Jamal Adams, Jeremy Chin. These guys are thumpers, right? These guys are going to stop people from going over the middle. Hopefully, we heard Landon Roberts talk today, about how he's starting to get in his routine. He's starting to get ready. And that's huge. That's huge for us, right? Because once he gets in the routine and once he gets dialed in to Patrick Graham's system and what we're trying to do over there, then he can get everybody else in the right position. And I think we have dogs on this team. There's a lot of dogs, right? So, the Raiders have drafted well. They brought in well in free agency. And now it's that time, right, where we got to put it all together. We got to put all our chips on the table, roll, throw your cards in, no pun intended, being in Vegas. But now's the time, right? Now's the time to tighten up the reins, make sure the ship's afloat, and get rolling, right? I want to see us, the young bucks, whoever plays. And, while we're talking about it, Pete Carroll said, once again, everybody is live. So everybody is live. We're live. I'm live. Everybody's live against the Cardinals. And we know what everybody lives means. Brock Bowers got one reception. Michael Mayer, I think, got one or two. That doesn't mean a lot, right? But will we see? Will we see what I've been wanting to see, and I'm sure what the nation wants to see, right? These backup quarterbacks go in there against, with some of the first team guys that they would actually be playing with. If something was to happen to our starting quarterback, you got to have these guys on the same page, and now's the time. So I feel like we're getting more and more ready. I think Pete Carroll's interview today, you know, kind of set me at ease a little bit and reassured me that, this team is going to be what I thought it was, right? It's going to be what I thought it was. We got a run game. We're going to be nasty on offense. You hear a lot of talk. Shout out to Q Myers, said, are you ready for the Raiders every week to try to win 38-35? So let me know in the comments below. Are you ready for the Raiders every week to go out there and try to win 38-35? My answer, you're damn skippy. And that was my answer on X. You're damn skippy. I'm completely ready. If that's what it takes for us to win, man, I don't care if it's 7-6. I don't care if it's 15-14. I don't care, as long as we just win, baby, right? Just win. And if we don't, well, then we're in trouble. We're in trouble. So, but I think this team is what I thought it was, right? We have a little bit of questions on the offensive line. We have a little bit of questions in the secondary, but I think it's all coming around. It'll all work out. Speaking of secondary, man, I know it's, small. It's very, very small. But my guy, Kai Blue Kelly, has a little hamstring issue. Hopefully it's minor, right? Very, very small. But hammies can be a bitch. As somebody that's tore a hammy on both sides, on both sides of my legs, it's not a quick recovery. And, hopefully it's just a little nagging injury. But when when there's something there, right, it leads to more. Because once you tear it, stretch it, whatever it is, you're going as hard as you can throughout the season, right? So hopefully him sitting out today, can rest it. Hopefully it's not a big issue. Get well soon if it is, my guy. But yeah, man, I think we're rolling. I think that the offense has been looking pretty damn good. The defense is starting to look a lot better. We have some sightings. We have some sightings from Tyree to the Wilson, right? Tyree Wilson, 2 sacks today. 2 sacks today, both on Geno Smith. Max Crosby got to the quarterback as well. So shout out to Tyree, 7th overall, like, what everybody expects. But it's coming together. It's coming together, man. He's getting better technique. They put him where I said to put him 2 years ago, in the middle. He likes being defensive tackle. He said in the press conference today, he loves the fact that, all he has to do is get past the guard and he's to the quarterback. So shout out for the new coaching staff to actually know what they're doing and putting guys in the right position on the field where they can thrive, right? Why we're speaking of guys in the right position. I know we talk about Aiden O'Connell on this show all the time, so it wouldn't be a right show without Aiden O'Connell. The coaches stepped it up today. Aiden O'Connell brought that dog out. We've been waiting to see. Okay, none of y'all haters, but some of us have been waiting to see for a long time. When's this man gonna unleash the dogs, right? Unleash the dogs. Well, today they sped up the clock. They went from a 24-second clock to an 18-second clock. Made him step up his rhythm, made him step up his thinking, and he got a little frustrated. But he was talking a little shit, and that's what we want to see from your quarterback, from your backup quarterback. And damn, mention AOC and you lose 8 people in here? That's crazy wild. I don't give a fuck. AOC. No, but, the kid's coming together. He's starting to get it. And, I don't want to go back to this, but Devontae Adams said when he started to leave, last year, or was it last year, the year before, right? When he was on his way out, he said Aiden O'Connell is coming to his own, and he just needs to figure out who he is, and he'll be just fine. And if you don't think Devontae Adams, matters, or his opinion matters, then y'all just hating on DA. You're just hating on DA. But, man, let's get into this chat. I know I just rambled off for the first 15, 20 minutes. Shout out to everybody in the building. I appreciate y'all. Billy D, first one. Oh, Raider Menace, first one in the building, or first one that I could see. I was a little late to get into it. Um, let's make it. What's good? What's good? Billy D in the house. What up, Rated Nation? I'm not bueno. Good to see you, my guy. Good to see you. Candy unlocked. Always unlocking something. Uh, can we help Rebel by keeping the chat engaged? That would be nice. That would be very nice. Jason Ruiz, what's good? What's good? Man, I shouldn't have put this shirt back on when I got out of the shower, dude. It is humid as hell. When it rains in Arkansas, bro, it is nasty. So if you see sweat running down my face, running down anywhere, down my neck, it's because it's hot as hell in here. It is so damn hot. Kind of like the heat in the desert that the Raiders are bringing in practice every single day. And, I get sidetracked. Y'all know I should do the ADHD show like Candy does. Uh, because I get a little sidetracked sometimes. I get on my soapbox and, in a 2 hour show, when I read the chat, I ramble and ramble and ramble. Some of y'all like it, some of y'all don't. It is what it is. Um, but yesterday, I forgot to mention the fact the whole the whole headline of the description for the live was Thomas Harper. Can Thomas Harper replace Christian Wilkins? And my answer is absolutely yes. I think he brings something that Christian Wilkins doesn't, a little bit more speed, a little bit more power. He's very physical out there. You see him running sideline to sideline. And from what I hear, everybody on that defensive line loves him. He's opening up holes for Malcolm Koonce, for Max Crosby, for whoever's next to him, whether it's Jonah Lalu, whether it's Adam Butler. And he's going to be a big force to be reckoned with. Now, on pass downs, you might see people subbing in and out, but I don't know. I don't know if he's a third down guy right now. But coming off a Super Bowl team, coming off a Philadelphia team, where it's a very, very well ran organization, right? It's a very well coached organization. They draft well. They're all about business there. So, he brings a lot to the table. Coming here, helping these young guys, working with Robbie Leonard. I think he's going to be a bigger factor than I thought. And, I questioned the JB trade. Everybody knows on this channel that I was live when they traded JB. And I was shocked, bro. I was absolutely shocked that we went and got a defensive lineman when we have all these, young guys that are battling for a roster spot. But obviously they felt like we needed, another veteran on that defensive line. And like I said, I had to do more film on Thomas Booker. But the man seems like he's for real. I think he's going to help us. Like I said, not every down he's going to be out there, and he's going to help these young guys, in the locker room that are fighting to make this spot. And I think it's going to be big. I think it's going to be big. Is the loss of Jacorian Bennett still going to hurt? I believe so. But I think, Booker brings something that we haven't had on this team in a while, right? He's physical, he's strong, he's going to take up the double teams. And again, another guy with a motor. And when you have those guys that have nonstop motors, it's crazy. Raider fan, what's good for you? Sorry I'm late. You ain't got to apologize to me. What the fuck? Leaky, what it do? What it do? Oh my God, bro. I'm sweating in here. Still 8 to 10 wins on the season, Rebel. You know, if it's 8 wins, that's to me that's a fail. That's a fail, bro. I said it before. I just feel like 8 wins, no matter what everybody else thinks or what everybody else's opinion is, to me is a fail. You have to win more than 8. Now 9 games, I'd be happy with. You're 9 and 7. You're 2 games over 500, 3, whatever it is. I'm completely fine with that. 8 games, I'm going to be disappointed. I'm not going to lie. Now, I know these teams are a lot better than I thought right off the rip. And I made my prediction, right? It's up there. I left it up there. I said I would. I keep my promises. I'm going to roll with it. I'm going to roll with it. Do I feel like it's, do I have as much confidence in my prediction as when I made it? Absolutely not. I ain't going to lie, bro. Absolutely not. So, with that being said, 8 wins to me, man, is just it's not enough. You bring in Geno Smith, who everybody thinks is going to turn this team around overnight, right? He's the guy that can throw the deep ball. He's a leader on the offense. Some people think he's everything we've ever needed at quarterback, and I hope that reigns true. But then we've added guys like Booker, like Jamal Adams. We added three veteran linebackers to get rid of. Jesus Christ! We added three veteran linebackers to get rid of one, and Jermaine Pratt, E-Rob, Devin White, actually four, and Jamal Adams. So, I think with all those veterans in this locker room, the speed that we have behind them, the young guys that we have behind them, the guys that you have in front of them that can get to the quarterback, with Tyree Wilson showing that inside where he was supposed to be all along, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. And I think we have the defensive line I was expected last year when I made my crazy prediction. And it's coming though. It's coming though. 12-5, is the ceiling for me because I don't think there's no way in hell they win more than that. And if they win, 12-5, bro, that's crazy. It's a lot's gonna have to happen to a lot of teams we play. But the teams we play, like I said, are a lot better than I thought. A lot of these teams, like the Patriots, the Chicago Bears, I had us winning some of these games, and I still feel like we're gonna compete with the Bears. We're gonna compete with the Patriots, right? They got new coaches. The season happens. Shit happens. By the time we play them, who knows who's going to be the quarterback, right? Or who's going to be their starting offensive line, or ours, right? So, for that, I feel 9 or 10 wins is I'll be good with. I'll be happy. AOC has sucked in the preseason. I'm not hating, just facts. Your facts are absolutely wrong, bro. Your facts are 100% wrong. And I hate making this an AOC show, but I hate people having wrong facts when they're going to talk shit on my boy. So let me just show you this real quick. And I know all y'all can go ahead and dip if you want to dip. It's fine. But, however, wait, that's not what I wanted to do. One more time. All right. Bookmarks. I got so much shit bookmarked. Just a little fun facts. Little fun facts. And shout out to my guy who posted this on X because I thought it was hilarious. Oh, come on. Don't tell me it's not saved on here, bro. But he hasn't looked good, man. 3 interceptions is not good, right? It's not good. Not good at all. But his mobility has looked better. And again, his offensive line. All right, that's way too far. Oh, come on. Where is it? All right, I'll find it. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Because these numbers are definitely numbers worth noting, right? Definitely numbers worth noting. Oh, come on. Where is my fucking shit at? Here we go. Here we go. All right, so. That ain't it either. What the fudge? Ah! Here we go, man. Here we go. Aiden O'Connell has played a total of 67 quarters in the NFL. And all y'all should pull up and listen to this shit. Anyways, 67 quarters in the NFL in his career, which amounts to 16.75 games. Let's compare. Oh, wait. That's not the one I wanted. Damn it. I wanted the other one. Man. All right. Hold on. I got it. I got it. Yes. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Now check this shit out. Check this out. I just got to tell y'all. All right, here we go. So, comparing Geno to AOC, which this ain't me, bro. I don't compare them because they're not even in the same ballpark, right? It's not whether one's better, whether one's faster, whether one has a stronger arm. To me, they're not the same guys. They're not the same guys. Um, I know, but listen. Um, Comparing AOC, read the comments and additions. AGG, tight window throws. Defender is within a yard of the receiver, right? So this is when the defender is pretty much within a yard of the defender, of the receiver, right on his back. Aiden O'Connell, 21%. Geno Smith, and this is career. This is career. Geno Smith, 12.5%. This is a measurement of aggressiveness. You know where AOC stood in the measurement of aggressiveness in the league? You know how many interceptions he's had in his career? 11, bro. 11 interceptions. You're second in the NFL in aggressiveness, but you only had 11 interceptions in your 17 starts. These are numbers that people need to know before they start being crazy, bro. Yards to the sticks. AOC, minus 1.2. Geno Smith, minus 2.2. This measures how far behind the sticks the quarterback throws to the target. AOC throws 1.2 yards in front of the sticks. Geno Smith, 2.2 yards in front of the sticks. Which, less is more in this situation, all right? Intended air yards. Intended air yards. Aiden O'Connell, 7.7. Geno Smith, 7.2. This measures the lengths of throws on average to the target. AOC airs it out a little more. Compared air yards. AOC, 5.6. Geno Smith, 5.1. This measures, and shout out to my guy, James Diablos on X. Go check him out. Always posting great stats. This measures the lengths of throw on average to the target, which are actually completed. So not missed throws. This measures the length of throws on average to the target, which are actually completed. AOC completed longer passes on average than Geno Smith. So, by those numbers, and let's just talk about the numbers, right? Who was AOC throwing to? Alex Bachman? Nothing against Alex Bachman because he's balling out this year, right? But last year, right, Alex Bachman wasn't Alex Bachman, right? He was coming in, learning the NFL, learning the speed a little bit more, learning the system. But Jacoby Myers, Trey Tucker, Michael Mayer, a little bit here and there, shorter. Like, come on. He's not throwing to DK Metcalf. He's not throwing to Tyler Lockett. He's not throwing to Smith and Jinba, who is one of the best receivers in the NFL, stat-wise, according to all the numbers. So I think, damn, I lost my lid. I think people just hate a little too much. And I know you're talking the preseason stats, but that's why they sped up his clock, because he's learning a new system, just like everybody else is. But we do know from the past, 4 offensive coordinators he had in 2 years, he learns the system pretty quick. This system is taking a little bit longer. We talked about how many plays they run in the same formation, and Geno Smith seems to pick it up a lot faster. And if he didn't, I'd be very disappointed, because he's been in the league for 12 years now. So you got to expect a guy been in the league 12 years to pick it up faster than a guy who's going on his 3rd year and has played in 20 games. Leaky said he'll be shocked if AOC makes the roster. I'd be shocked if he doesn't, only because you need three quarterbacks. Who are they going to go out and get that already knows the system, that's already been in camp, that's already knows a lot of the receivers, the tight end, the running backs? You're not going to find a guy. What are we going to bring? You can go back and bring in Carter Bradley that they cut. Al's Ghost. What's good? What's good? You know, you need AOC. You need AOC. No matter what you guys think or no matter what you guys want to listen to or whatever you hear, whatever everybody's talking about, are your own opinion. I don't know if it's your opinion or you're just going by what everybody else says. But how can you say you need to get rid of Aiden O'Connell and only run with two quarterbacks all year? That's scary. That's scary. Do you really, answer me this question. Answer me this question. Do you really, seriously, want to do to Cam Miller what we did to Aiden O'Connell? A third string quarterback, no reps with the first team, barely any reps with the second team, holding a clipboard out there most of the preseason until the end of the fourth quarter. And then if something happens to Geno, you just throw him in the fire and say, okay, take your Division I ass to the NFL. Welcome to the NFL, son. You've had however many games, you sat behind Geno and learned through the preseason and the season. I'm not comfortable with that. I'm not comfortable with that. I'm not comfortable with ruining this kid's confidence, ruining his psyche, which we've already seemed to have done to Aiden O'Connell, right? Because some people think he's dropping off. How could you not, man? How could you not? You go through 4 head coaches, 4 offensive coordinators, 4 quarterback coaches, a receiver in Devontae Adams who catches pretty much anything you throw, runs the best routes still at his age, to throw into guys like Alex Bachman and I don't even know. I can't even remember the other receivers, is what I'm saying. You can't get rid of Aiden O'Connell, bro. We'd be crazy to. We'd be crazy to. Now, could there be a scenario where if something happens to Geno, they say fuck it and throw in the young man Cam Miller? They could. They could. They could put him in there just to see what happens. But I don't think so. I don't think so. You're gonna want a guy that I guess is a veteran. This is his 3rd year, right? You could call him a vet. Played in, started in 17 games, played in 20. I'm going with that over Cam Miller. I'm sorry. Now, Cam Miller has upside. He's going to be good in the NFL. He has Tom Brady in his corner. That's a plus right there. If they're working in the offseason, which I believe they can, there shouldn't be no stipulations on Brady's Fox contract for that. If they're working out in the offseason like he has with Shedeur Sanders, can you imagine what Cam Miller's going to be next year? I'm just saying, I don't think they're trying to push Cam. I think they know what they have in Cam Miller, and I know they know what they have in Aiden O'Connell, and they know that if something happens to Geno, Aiden O'Connell can run this offense. I promise you. Is he going to make mistakes? Yes. Is he going to make as many mistakes as Geno? No, because his record hasn't shown. Playing with no running game, with a mixed match offensive line. So I just don't see how that is possible or how you could say you feel better. And if you do feel better with Cam, that's up to you. But if that happens, bro, please come back on my channel. Please come back on my channel so I can laugh at your ass for thinking Cam Miller was ready to start in the NFL right now. I mean, go back and watch my live from 2 days ago. I showed every Cam Miller throw. If you can go back and watch that and look at those throws and tell me that you believe he's ready to start right away, then I won't talk about Aiden O'Connell until the season starts. Shit. I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. No more AOC out of my mouth. But you got to go watch all of his all 22 plays and tell me you think he's really ready. 8 wins is success in my book. Why? Because it's 4 more than last year? I mean, 8 wins might be a success. And to some people, they're going to be happy with that. I think a lot of people are going to be happy with that. To me, as a fan of 50 years, knowing what we had in this team last year and how they squandered it away with the wrong quarterback, with guys getting hurt, with the wrong, bringing in guys that didn't fit the system in free agency, bringing in a wrong offensive coordinator that nobody ever gelled with or got with. We had a team to compete last year. I believe so. I believe we do. I believe we did. And it didn't work out like that. But when you have 7 starters on the defense injured, you can make excuses or you can make facts. You can't win like that. I don't care if you're the Patriots, the Kansas City Chiefs, or the greatest team on turf. If you lose 7 starters on your offense in a season, 3 of them out for the whole season, I mean, that you can't come back for that. So I think we're better, like I said, than our record shows. And if we were better than our record shows, then we should have been, you know, bottom 6 or 7 games last year won. And if we only win 1 or 2 more than that this year, bringing in a quarterback, bringing in a 6th overall pick running back, bringing in 2 deep threats that can run 4.3 40s down the field, getting faster on defense. Now, I mean, I know it takes time to develop and learn new systems, but 8 wins? I mean, let's look at this. Let's look at this. Let me take this off. Hide chat. Oh, put me right back in front of it. Hold up. Let me do this. Oh, there we go. All right, so at the Patriots, win or loss, right? Win or loss, I mean, it doesn't matter. But then you have the Chargers. The Chargers who are coming off a game in Brazil against the Kansas City Chiefs, right? That's going to have, put them a little bit behind the 8 ball, I do believe. And then they have to come in to Allegiant Stadium, and Pete Carroll's first home game, Chip Kelly's first home game, Geno Smith's first home game, Jeremy Chin, who got his first interception in his first game in Allegiant Stadium. I just don't see the Chargers coming in and dog walking us or winning this game. Really, I don't. I see the Raiders winning this game, and it's going to take a lot because the Chargers are a damn good team, but I don't think anybody knows what this Raider team is going to be. We haven't showed our cards, and I don't think we're going to show them all against the Patriots. I think we're going to save a lot of shit for the home opener. And, look, Pete Carroll, Tom Brady, Spytek, they don't want this shit right here. Hold up. And I know y'all probably ain't going to see this. It's probably going to be just pixelated. But they do not want this shit ever again, bro. Ever again. Oh, you can't see. Oh, the field goes through it. You see all that red? That's Allegiant Stadium. That's Allegiant Stadium at the 49er game. Preseason, 49er game, bro. This is our home. This is our home. As long as Pete Carroll's been in the league, I don't see us losing this home opener. If you want to change that narrative, if you want to fill the seats, you beat the Chargers on day 1 or day whatever, week 2, opening game in Allegiant Stadium. You have to. You set the tone. And if we do that, if we manage to do that and pull that off, I think that puts this team on a high horse going up against the Washington Commanders, who, they lost Jeremy Chin. They brought in some guys. They have, Terry McLaurin problems. We don't know what's going to go on with that. A lot of stuff going on over there. They looked pretty good in the preseason. I'm sure they weren't showing all their cards. Dan Quinn is a disciple from Pete Carroll. He knows how to do shit. He's going to do it like Pete does. So, Washington looked okay, but their depth didn't impress me, right? It didn't look great in their last preseason game. If you watched the Washington Commanders last preseason game, go back and watch it. I feel we have a chance. We have a defense that if you can just cage in JD5 and Jaden Daniels, we have a chance. If we can't, then, it might be a long, long day. Then you got the Bears, right? Who looked killer in the preseason. But are they showing all their cards? Is that what they're going to run? Is that what their system's going to look like? Is that what their defense is going to look like? Are they going to be able to keep that up? A lot of their points came from the second and third string. Also, you got to look at that. So, I feel with the Bears, we're right there in there, right there in there. It could go either way. The Colts with Daniel Jones. I mean, did you see what we did to Daniel Jones last time we played the Giants? Go back and watch that game. So, their offensive line, the Colts offensive line, they're pretty solid offensive line. But I think we got something for them. I think we got something for them. Then you go to the Tennessee Titans. I mean, a rookie quarterback, not much of a run game. You got some guys back on defense like Snead, former Kansas City Chief, who's going to be a dog out there. But they have a lot of questions too. That offensive line, I mean, they got some questions. They got some questions. Just as many questions as us. So Tennessee, we're right there in there, right? The Kansas City Chiefs. Every time we play the Kansas City Chiefs, we've done pretty good over the last 2 years. We haven't got blown away. We've beat them on Christmas Day. We should have beat them last year on the botched snap in their house. We play Kansas City in their house pretty well. I think Pete Carroll knows Andy Reid better than what AP did. So, we have a chance in that game. The Jaguars, we don't know what they're going to be. But I know they look pretty good in preseason. Their first round pick has, injuries. Can he play both ways? We don't know. Is Travis Hunter going to make it? Will he even be playing in the NFL by week 4? Like, he's already hurt. So, all these teams have questions just like we do. The Denver Broncos, that's going to be hard, bro. That's going to be hard. What was that, Thursday night game? That's going to be difficult. So, none of these teams really, really scare me to death, right? The Cowboys. No Micah Parsons. I'm not scared about that defense. With no Micah Parsons, that team is 70% instead of, the 90 or whatever percent they usually are, or whatever Madden has their defensive rated. The Browns. Joe Flacco looks decent, but how long is he going to last out there with that offensive line? How are they going to hold up? The Chargers, again, we have to at least go 1-1 with the Chargers, right? We have to go 1-1 with the Broncos, and we have to go 1-1 with the Chiefs. If we do that, that's already 3 games. So out of the Patriots, the Commanders, the Bears, the Colts, the Titans, the Jaguars, the Cowboys, the Browns, the Eagles, the Giants, you don't think we can win 5 of those games? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 of our games? 11 of our games. We can't win more than 5 of those? I don't know. I hope to God we can. I hope to God you're wrong. Not just for me being right, because I'm tired of losing, man. I'm tired of losing, bro. I'm tired of losing. But if you're happy with 8 wins, I'm kudos to you. But it's not gonna cut it for me. It's not gonna cut it for me. It's got to be at least 9 or 10. Rosetown in the building. Gladdy Raider was good. Appreciate you. Have you even watched the games? Have I watched the games? I haven't missed a game since like 1985, bro. What you talking about? I watched every game. Every game. More than once. 3 or 4 times. I got to make content. I got to post videos. I got to get shit up for the shout out to the members. More stuff's coming. I got to get shit out to the members of the channel. I watch the shit out of the games. Matter of fact, go back and watch my last live. I broke down every Aiden O'Connell play. He has some damn good throws. Again, with the offensive line and Thayer Munford, who was getting cooked every single play. Thayer Munford got cooked absolutely every play. Just if you don't have the all 22, man, DM me. I'll give you my password. You can sign into all 22 just so you can watch it yourself. You don't even have to pay for it. You don't even have to pay for it. Just DM me. I'll give you my password. You can sign in NFL. You can get the all 22. Just watch Thayer Munford plays. And if you think it was all Aiden O'Connell, bro, pass the hoochie to the left hand side because I want to hit that. Only one nation, baby. You know it. You know it. Fuck the other 31. Somebody been checking out the merch? Go check out the fuck the other 31 merch. Fire drip, bro. Fire drip. I still trust AOC if Gino goes down. Not some rookie, right? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Which of those stats comparison about AOC? How many games did he win with him since he got drafted? The last I checked, defensive won those games. Then AP took over. Okay, Leaky. If the defense won the game, yes, we lost. But, you know, the defense won the game against the Chargers where Aiden O'Connell put up 4 touchdowns in the first half. In the first half? Hold up. The defense won the game against the Jets 2 years ago when AP took over. When we were down, 17-3, 19-3, 16-3, some shit. Aiden O'Connell came down with 2 drives, threw a dime in the back of the end zone to Michael Mayer to go up, touchdown, Raiders to win the game. I don't know. I don't know what you mean, bro. Like, come on. If we trade a first round pick for a 30-year-old pass rusher, just fire everyone at this point. Raider Docs. Okay, let's get off the AOC shit. Thank God somebody chimed in. Here's my take. 30 years old. So how old is the hell? I just lost everybody's name in my head. How old is the pass rusher that I can't remember for the Browns that just totally evaded me? TJ Watt. What's TJ Watt? 31, 32, something? Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't they just pay him $105 million guaranteed? I totally disagree with you, bro. I'm going to have to totally disagree. I'm going to get on this soapbox again. Trey Hendrickson, 17 sacks last year. More than Max Crosby has ever had in his whole entire career. Ever. 17 sacks. The year before. More sacks than Max Crosby has had ever in any season in his whole entire career. On a Bengals team, bro. On a Bengals defense. Come on. The Bengals defense, just go back and look at their numbers the last 2 years. That's all I'm going to say. 35 sacks in the last 2 years. 35 in 2 years, bro. What has Max Crosby had in the last 2 years? 30 years old or not, he can still get to the quarterback. He can still stop the run. He's still going to change games. He's going to change game plans. He's going to destroy. And if you put Max Crosby and Trey Hendrickson on the other side of this defensive line with Jonah Lalu, with Adam Butler, with Booker, with Tyree Wilson in the middle, because he won't have to play outside no more, because now all you got to do is put Charles Snowden and Malcolm Koonce. If you don't trade him, we'll get into that. You got Malcolm Koonce on the other side, bro. This makes us a playoff team. This makes us a playoff team from day one. Day one. It changes everything. It makes our defense completely better. And I know Malcolm Koonce is a dog, but he's not Trey Hendrickson. He's never he might be in a year or two, once he gets over the injuries and all that shit. But right now, I'm the biggest Malcolm Koonce fan of all. I was talking about Malcolm Koonce besides Graf that wanted him drafted. I've been talking about Malcolm Koonce since day one. I always believed in this kid, and I still do. This young man is going to be a dog. He's got to stay healthy, but, when AP took over, we seen the light go off in his head, and the man took over. But that's, over time. We also have a guy in Charles Snowden that I think could be better, you know, that I think could possibly be better than Malcolm Koonce eventually if they give this man more reps. With that being said, you got Tyree Wilson playing in the middle. Trey Hendrickson, man, would be totally different. You have two guys on the edge. You can't run. You can't run to the outside. There's no way in hell your running back is getting to the outside with those guys on the edge. No way. No way at all. No matter if you put a tight end over there, if you double team him, he's going to slow everything down. He's going to slow everything down. It's a game changer on defense. So for 30 years old, this is my second reason. Reason number two, the Raiders have a 2 or 3 year window. I've talked about this over and over and over again, right? Pete Carroll's contract, 3 years. Geno Smith's contract, 2 years, and he's up for an extension. Max Crosby's contract, 2 years. He's up for, no guaranteed money. He's up for another contract in 2 years. Everybody's contracts are figured out. Even Colton Miller, to where they just signed, right? In 2 years, he's got no guaranteed money left on his shit. So they've seemed to be building a pattern here. And if you just, pay attention to the signs, our window is 2 or 3 years. They know this. I think everybody knows this. You should know, we got to win now. And if you want to win now, you go get one of the best defensive linemen, by the time he's done in history. He's going to be up there, I guarantee you, with them gold jackets. Next to Max Crosby, it's a game changer, man. It's an absolute game changer. So no matter what he wants, the $30-40 million, that's the same as Max gets. His numbers getting to the quarterback, pressures are better than Max's. So why not pay him Max money? We have the money. We can afford it. We are projected to have $98 million or more over the cap next year. We have the money, bro. We have the money. They can pay him. His whole deal, and this is another reason, his whole deal right now, Trey Hendrickson, is he wants guaranteed money. The Raiders have no problem making it rain with guaranteed money. They've done it to Max Crosby. They did it to Colton Miller. They gave Geno Smith a lot. I'll just say that. A lot of guaranteed money. All the contract signings lately have been throwing guaranteed money out. That means that guaranteed money helps on the books, right? It helps on the cap hits. It helps with all of it. So if anybody's willing to fork out that upfront money, it's the Raiders, in my opinion. It's the Raiders, in my opinion. And if Al Davis was alive right now, this trade would already be done. This trade would already be done. I guarantee it. If Al Davis was alive, we wouldn't be having this conversation. As soon as they said he was on the block and put out what they wanted, if they could afford it, it would have been done. We seen him bring in guys. Come on. Greg Townsend. Fuck. I just can't fucking think. Anyways, you know what I'm saying. We've brought in a lot of guys. Lyle Alzado. We brought in all kinds of top defensive guys that were, up there in age, getting towards the top of their career, the end of their career. I think Al Davis would pull the trigger on this in a minute. And again, if you're trying to win now, if you're trying to bring people in the seats that wear silver and black, that have this shit, not red, not orange, not green, not purple, not whatever other sissy ass colors there are out there, then you go get a player like Trey Hendrickson. Now, the big question is, what's it going to cost? Well, they said they wanted a first round and a player. Okay. How about 2 players in a second round? Right? If they said it doesn't have to be a pass rusher, we might not have to give up a pass rusher. But you have guys with upside that people have seen, like Charles Snowden, like Decamarion Richardson, right? We have some young guys. Maybe Isaiah Palomau. I'm not going to just throw that out there. And I know everybody's going to trip on that. But we have young guys that we could throw in packages. Tyree Wilson, right? Tyree Wilson, a former first-round pick, 7th overall. I know they're not going to give him that value. But if they value him as a 3rd or a 4th, somewhere in there, which that might be a little high. You might have to wait to um, get some games out of the season. But I'm just saying, if they throw in a Malcolm Koonce, maybe they want a running back, right? Maybe they run a running back. You never know. Maybe Raheem Mostert. I mean, we don't know. Maybe they need a quarterback to back up their quarterback who took a beating in the preseason. Maybe they see something in Aiden O'Connell. Maybe like, damn, how about Tyree Wilson, Aiden O'Connell, and a third round pick? Who says no? Who says no? Aiden O'Connell, Tyree Wilson, and a third round pick. Who says no? Anybody? Anybody? Me Too GMX has sucked in the preseason. That's a fact. Look who it is. Raiders. What's good, my guy? Furpo in the building. Put AOC with the starting five guarantees. He's shining right now. And shit, I put my nuts on it, bro. I don't need him anymore. I already know. Aiden O'Connell with Trey Tucker, with Jacoby Myers, guys he has faith in, guys he's worked out in the offseason with, behind closed doors, at parks, when we weren't even supposed to be working out, just as friends. Brock Bowers, he has a big connection with Michael Mayer. When Aiden O'Connell is in there, Michael Mayer has the most yards, most catches. When Aiden O'Connell's not in there, Michael Mayer doesn't even exist in the games, right? So Aiden O'Connell tries to get him the ball. I believe he'd ball out with the starting five. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. People are going to think I'm crazy, and people aren't going to like it. But come on, y'all already know. I don't give a fuck. The reason Aiden O'Connell is not running with the ones, the reason Cam Miller has not got any reps with the ones, because some crazy content creators in the beginning were saying Aiden O'Connell should be quarterback one. I've never said that. It wasn't me. And so, I've said there should be a competition, right? Pete Carroll said there's going to be a competition at every position. That's all caps. That's all caps. There has been no competition at the quarterback. Gino's been quarterback one since day one. If he wasn't, they would give Aiden O'Connell and Cam Miller, not just Aiden, they'd give Aiden and Cam first team reps. But they don't want a competition. They don't want to believe that maybe one of those guys are better than the third round pick they traded, away. So that's never going to happen. But we all know, bro. We all know. Wrong, we had Bowers, Devontae, Jacoby, etc. He only played with Brock for how many games did he play in last year? 8. He started 6, I think. So, yeah. He didn't have Brock the year before. He didn't have Devontae and Brock at the same time. What are you talking about, Raider Menace? What are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about? Raiders. Let's go. I love it. Trey would come to the Chiefs. Get out of here with that shit. Raider football. What's good? Yerp in the building. You must have got the memo. You got a membership. It was Raider fan for life, so you could thank them. But glad to see you. Glad to see you pulled up. Fuck the Queefs. Yes, fuck the Queefs. This shirt is killing me. All I said was he sucked in the preseason. I never said get rid of him. I know. I'm just saying everybody else is. And I wasn't commenting to you. I was commenting to Leaky that said he's going to, my guy Leaky T that said he don't think he's going to be here after the preseason, which, AOC is like Nick Foles, a good backup, but not a true starter. I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to say that, I agree and I disagree. Have you ever seen, just no hypothetical, but just a serious question. Have you ever seen has anybody ever seen in the history of the NFL a quarterback look like a starter, a true starter, on a team that's not built around him? on a system that's not built around him. That's all I'm saying. If they ever, and everybody says AOC has had his chance, but no, he didn't. Last year, the system was built for Gardner Minshew. This year, the system is built for Geno Smith. The year before, 3 years ago, the system was built for Jimmy Garoppolo. All three more athletic quarterbacks, right? All three different styles. Pretty okay. Not great, right? But just okay. So, I mean, to say he's not a starting quarterback, I would like to see just one time, somebody put him in a system that's that fits his strengths and see what he does. Because we've seen him put up 340 yards and 2 touchdowns against the Kansas City Chiefs. You know who did that last year? Not one quarterback. Not one quarterback was even close to that. No interceptions. So there's spurts, man. There's spurts. But again, learning a new system shouldn't be an excuse. Jaden Daniels and C.J. Stroud both won their playoff games season as a rookie. I agree 100%. 100%. C.J. Stroud also had a way better team. They also picked two times in the first round. They got a first-round quarterback and a first-round defensive edge. So, I mean, that's a little bit different. With a damn good head coach, that's been around the NFL, been there, done that. So that's a little bit different scenario. And Jaden Daniels went to the Commanders, to the offensive coordinator that we were supposed to have that backed out. So he's got an offensive coordinator that used to be a head coach. He also has a head coach as the head coach, and he also has their run game coordinator, used to be a head coach as well. So they got 3 head coaches in that building. And the run game coordinator was the one that told him, hey, let's do what he was doing at LSU. Put on the headset, speed. So he runs every single day. Every day he runs a full game on his virtual reality shit, and they speed it up 1.5. So that's just smart coaching, right? They did everything they could for him to succeed. And that just gets back to my point. They built a system around C.J. Stroud. They built a system around Jaden Daniels. They ain't built shit around Aiden O'Connell. They threw him out to a system that was thrown away the first year, half the playbook. So, I don't know how we keep talking about AOC. Stop mentioning AOC. I'm tired of talking about him. I'm not reading any of y'all comments because it's all AOC shit, and y'all are all liars. I hope Amari Gainer gets a ton of snaps this week. I hope so too, man. I hope so too. I'm going to read the chat backwards because now I pick and choose what I want to read. Shout out to my guy, Purpo. Shout out to my guy, Jack, in the building. I hope Amari Gainer gets reps, man, but there's something up with Amari Gainer. I feel like he kind of has that that relationship with Chip Kelly. I mean, with Patrick Graham, or not Patrick Graham, with Pete Carroll, that Jacorian Bennett had, right? There wasn't something that they clashed, right? Whatever it was, there's a reason Jacorian got traded. There's a reason, he was going from the first team to the third string to the second string. And for Pete Carroll, as long as he's been in the NFL, as long as he's been coaching, if he feels that, there's something in that kid that's not right for his team or for his system, who am I to say he's wrong, right? But there's got to be more to it, man. There's got to be more to it. Or like I said last night, I just don't know football. I think it's real cool of her. She's a real one. I'm going backwards. What else we got? Who's helping me with the algorithm? Oh, Candy? Yeah, she's good at that. It's not working out very good, no. I'm saying. Guy is 34, balling for the Ravens, right? Look at Kyle Van Noy. Facts. 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 Oh my God, Junior, did you change your name? 63 and 21 first half was one of the best first halves in Raiders history. No, it was the best first half in Raiders history, and I believe he's the only quarterback in Raiders history to throw four touchdowns in the first half. The kid's already in the record books, man. Most points ever scored in a game, but you know. All right, I'm done reading that. So yeah, man, that's what I feel. That's what I feel. Trey Hendrickson, um, if you can get him for the right price, you know that's fine. If you could throw in, I don't want to get rid of Tyree Wilson or Malcolm Koonce. I want to keep those guys. So what do they want that we have that we could throw in there, right? Maybe get crazy. Maybe a Tommy Eichenberg. Maybe Amari Gaynor, right? Maybe Amari Gaynor. How about that? Amari Gaynor, Aiden O'Connell. No, I'm just not like Aiden O'Connell. Amari Gaynor, another player in a third round pick. I mean, Amari was a UDFA. He doesn't have, you know, but he has film. He has film against the 49ers in preseason last year. He played the whole entire game at Mike linebacker. You know, he has film in North Carolina. He has film in Florida. Maybe somebody takes a chance, right? Maybe you throw him in there. They definitely don't need a receiver, so there's no way you're getting rid of Jacoby Myers, right? I've heard somebody say something like that, but they got two of the best receivers in the NFL. If you throw Jacoby Myers on that team and they don't make the Super Bowl, that would be crazy. That would be crazy wild. Um, my guy Kenneth says, Rebel, interesting facts. No starting LB safety or cornerback has over PFF grade of 65. Last game, only a 32 rating. No. 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 But you're close. You're close. My boy, my Arkansas boy, man, I am sweating like a lesbian eating a taco in front of her mama. Jesus. What is going on? Can I get a fan over here somewhere? Um, Hold on, I gotta find this stat. Timeout. I apologize for the silence. All right, here we go. No, that ain't it. Fucking every time I think it's something. Um, oh yeah, right here. All right, so PFF, highest rated graded players for the Las Vegas Raiders. On offense, oh, this is against the 49ers. On offense, it was Brock Bowers, a 90. He had one pass, one catch. It is what it is. Geno Smith, an 85.5. I don't know how that rating goes either. Carter Runyon, 83.1. Aiden O'Connell, an 81.2. Had a horrible preseason, right? He was just trash out there. I'll take an 81.2 rating all day long. I'm just saying. I don't know about y'all. Ashton Jeanty, 78.1. Jeremy Chin, a 92.5 rating. So, Kenna, I believe Jeremy Chin is a safety. And I think that grade is over a 65. But again, keep getting your information where you get it. I'm just fucking with you, Kenna. You know that. But yeah, Jeremy Chin was graded 92.5. JJ Pegues, my guy JJ Pegues, that I keep telling y'all. I told y'all, as soon as we drafted him, this guy makes the roster, and he is going to be a problem on the field. He is going to make plays. He is going to be doing interviews after games. Write it down, check mark it, put it in a file, do something with that shit. JJ Pegues, a 78.4 graded last week. Tommy Eichenberg, Tommy freaking Eichenberg. Heard all the talk, and you know I could be that dude and say this dude said this and this dude said. I ain't about that. But lots and lots of people said Tommy Eichenberg ain't him. Tommy Eichenberg is trash. Tommy Eichenberg will never make the cut. Tommy Eichenberg, a 77.6 grading last year. I mean, last game. My guy, Charles Snowden. I told y'all, Charles Snowden had a hell of a game. I didn't just think so. PFF also thought so. They graded him a 77.1. And then the best grade out of all the grades, the best grade, Hudson Clark. Woo! Pig Suey. That's right, my Razorback. Hudson Clark, a 76.6 overall grade from PFF. So, Kenna, um, oh wait, last season? Jeremy Chin was graded a bunch of games. I don't know for the season, but games. Man, stop everything. AOC is lousy. It's everybody's fault. The O line, the system. Just face facts. He's not good. I mean, whatever you say, bro. Whatever you say, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. AOC sucks ass. All right. AOC sucks ass. Has nothing to do with the offensive line. And every quarterback in the history of the NFL has great numbers with a shitty offensive line with no fucking run game and no receivers. I mean, right? That's how it goes in the NFL. You're right. You're right. AOC sucks ass. All right. I said it. Is everybody happy? Aiden O'Connell is trash. So is some of y'all's opinions, though. For real. For real. Nice. Finally, a non-biased opinion. Now I'm biased? Oh, man. That hurts. That hurts. Rebel, I'm going to fire PFF. You should fire PFF. You should fire PFF and all those other content creators you listen to, because we speak truth talk over here, whether y'all like Aiden O'Connell or not. Numbers don't lie, bro. Numbers don't lie. So you could say I'm biased all you want to, but the facts are the facts, bro. The facts are the facts. You know what everybody else says? Aiden O'Connell sucks. Do they have stats to back it up? Do they show footage to back it up? Are there any plays they're highlighting except for the interception? Can you run 5 plays in a row out of any of his plays? Take 5 plays in a row out of any of his plays and tell me 3 of them were worse, were bad out of the 5? I can't. I didn't see that. So, again, it is what it is, bro. It is what it is. I will never face the facts because somebody tells me that Aiden O'Connell is trash. I have eyes, bro. I have eyes. I can see. I can see the people around him. I can see the pocket collapsing. I can see the receivers dropping balls. If you can't, I mean, that's cool. That's cool. It is what it is. Yeah, 65 grade for 2004. Per the report, I had 32 grade was the team defense. Our defense was bad last year. In parts, though, in parts, we were in the top 15 in passing yards allowed. Believe it or not, we did pretty well in the back half of the season with the young guys we had, and one guy that is not here no more, and Jack, you know, was the biggest problem. Gave up 7 touchdowns last year. You know, man, how many games we could have won if Jack didn't give up those 7 touchdowns? We could have went from 4 we have 4 wins last year. We could have went from 4 wins to like 8 or 9 wins just with those 7 touchdowns. Some of those games we lost were very, very close. Rosetown in the building. Mafia needs to kick rocks. Yeah, we talked about that yesterday. He needs to kick rocks. Thayer Munford needs to kick rocks. There's a lot of offensive linemen that need to kick rocks. There's some defenders that I think are the number 1 corner slot need to be questioned. There's a lot that need to be questioned. A lot. But yeah, shout out to the ballers last week, man. Those are good ass numbers. Damn good numbers. What else do I have to talk about? But if you could listen to all those numbers and still say Y'all are crazy, bro. I don't need video. I have eyes. The pick you through in preseason were awful. Find me a quarterback in the NFL that's never thrown a awful interception. Find me one. Please, please, God, please, please, in the name of the Lord, find me a quarterback in the history of the NFL who's never made a bad throw. How many pick sixes does Aiden O'Connell have? Can somebody answer me that? As a quarterback, how many interceptions out of his 11 have been returned for 6? Come on, y'all the stat guys. Y'all the stat guys. You don't have to look very hard. The answer is 0 as far as I know. As far as I know. 0. So he's thrown some dumb interceptions. He's made mistakes. He's a 4th-round pick. He's human. That's not an excuse. That's a fact. He is human. He is a 4th-round pick. The offensive line is trash. Another fact. Not a excuse, but you know, we could do this all day, bro. I could do this all week long with you, with East Coast Gridiron, with anybody else that wants to sit here all day and point facts. I told you, we'll break down film, we'll go over it. Like, his numbers don't lie, and everybody has the same answer. How many games has he won? How many games has he won? I told you, he's won 6-1 when they rush for over 100 yards. Like, you know how many quarterbacks lose games by 2 touchdowns or more and their team still runs for over 100 yards? It's like 40-something% for the year. So, again, Lackey Tassie is a beast. Lackey Tassie's going to be a problem. He's going to be a huge problem for a long, long time. For a long, long time. He has very, very damn good skills. He picks up the offense fast. If you want to watch film review, go back and watch the live I did 2 days ago. Yes, the screen is my computer sucks ass in the color. I don't know why it's so bad. But go back and watch the all 22. He's in there. I think almost every play, for a lot of plays with Aiden and not Aiden, for a lot of plays with Cam Miller, I do believe. And he looked pretty damn good, bro. He looked pretty damn good. So shout out to Lackey Tassie, man. He's gonna be a problem. What else we got? Raiders, fuck the rest, right? Fuck the other 31. There's only one nation, bro. There's only one nation. And if you believe there's only one nation and would like to rep that merch, only one nation, fuck the other 31. CandyAngel.com/Rebel merch. Go check it out, bro. 1 to 10 being the worst. What would you rate the Raiders front 7? From what I've seen now, or what I believe they could possibly be by the time the season starts, because there's a big difference there. From what I see now, I would probably go with a 7.5 out of 10. What I think they could be, a 9.75. I really think they have all the potential to be scary, man. To be frightening, where every offensive coordinator is going to have to figure out, are you doubling Max? Are you doubling Malcolm Koonce? Are you going to double the big man in the middle and Adam Butler? Are you going to double the other big man, monster man in the middle, and Thomas Booker? I did not know he was that big, and I didn't know he was that fast. So right now, I give it a 7.5. I think that's about where we're at. You know, Tonka Hemingway, as he progresses, as Jonah Lalu progresses, as Tyree Wilson gets more comfortable at the DT spot, as Charles Snowden gets more reps, hopefully at the defensive end spot, it's going to go up. It's going to go up. So ask me that same question in about 3 weeks, 4 weeks. We'll see what we think then. But yeah, I'm 7.5. Don't ask me the same about the secondary. You going to return the favor to her by doing that? I do, man. What are you talking about? She don't need my help. She don't need my help. She's got it just fine on her own. And I go in their lives. I go in there and talk shit. I go in there and troll. I repost some of her shit. But that's why she helps me, man, because I'm busy. Because I'm busy. And shout out to my girl Candy for always looking out. Raiders will have one of the highest 3-and-out percentages in the league by week 7. Oh God. Why do you do this to me, GeoMX? Why? 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 Oh man. Don't say that, bro. Don't put that shit out there. Please don't put that out there. Um, man, but I could believe it. I could believe it. I, I don't want to believe it, but I think you might have a point, and here's why. I see way too many shots being taken downfield. You know, if they press on us, I think we're throwing it downfield, and until the timing gets right with Gino and Dante Thornton, until the timing gets right with Jack Bash, you know, Brock Bowers, which seems to be okay, but we've seen some of the passes. Unless you just got Gino's balls in your mouth and you think he's the greatest thing ever, some of his throws, the one to Brock Bowers, if the defender didn't slip, I think would have been a pick, unless Brock Bowers is strong enough to throw it away. So we haven't seen enough from Gino. We hear every day, interception, sack. He was sacked 3 times today. That's not good for our offensive line. That's not against Gino. That's our O-line. That's our starting O-line. Giving up 3 sacks? Come on, man. So yes. Like I said, it's gonna take time for this to for these teams to gel. It's gonna take them time to get it all together. He's talking about OF. He's being stupid. Ignore him. I helped you on there too. What are you talking about? Raiders run defense looking good. Pass defense is the opposite. I think the pass defense is going to come along. I think it's coming along. I think with Kai Blue Kelly and his aggressiveness, his physicality, I think right now they're not showing the defense. They're not showing what we're going to run, right? They're showing the base set, the 4-3, but I don't think they're showing everything. I don't think they're going to show how many times they, send a bunch of guys in and stack the box, how many times they blitz their third linebacker, how many times they bring a safety down to be a fourth linebacker. We've talked about it. It's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot of changes. And I think they're going to surprise some people. I think when you hear Pete Carroll say this is the best defensive backfield he's ever coached, do you guys really feel in your heart that he's just full of shit and he's lying to us? Let me know in the comments below. Y for yes, N for no. When Pete Carroll talks, do you feel like he's just full of shit? Like he's just trying to gas you up? Because when I heard him say this is the best defensive backfield he's ever coached, and the reporter asked, but you coached the Legion of Boom? And he said, yeah, I know. I know. He said some of those guys ain't going to like it, right? Sherm's not going to be happy. Cam Chancellor's not going to be happy. None of these guys are going to be happy. But that's what he said. So, unless he's just full of shit, unless he's just gassing us up, I feel he really believes that. So, to me, I hope so, man. I really hope that he believes and that that's how he feels. Because if that's the case, like I said, it's football. Like E-Rob said, football doesn't start until November. but we don't have a team to start in November. This team needs to start hot. It needs to start now, and it needs to start early. And I think, when you play the Patriots, the Chargers, the Commanders, the Bears, the Colts, and the Kansas City Chiefs all before the bye, if we come out of there 4-3, if we come out of there 3-4, I think it's a damn good start. I think it's a damn good start. And this team, I guarantee you, mark my words, if you didn't listen to me when I said Devontae Adams would be traded, if you didn't listen to me when I said JB was going to be the first one gone off this team, if you didn't listen to me any other time, all the shit that I've told you, that Dylan Labe was going to be drafted, that Dante Thornton was going to be a Raider, when everybody asked me who was my sleeper receiver, where's all the people in here? I got a notebook right here. My sleeper, Dante Thornton, number one sleeper. If y'all didn't listen to me then, listen to me now. This team is just going to get better as we play if they stay healthy. The more games they play together, the more confidence they get, the more they trust in each other. Look out, NFL. Look out. That's all I got to say. This team is going to be good. And we talk about next year. If you talk about next year, man, I don't even want to make predictions for next year. If we get another shutdown, lockdown corner in the draft, or another, first round offensive lineman, this will be the pinned comment. And nobody comments on my shit. Shout out to the couple people that do comment after the live. I appreciate you. Always supporting the channel and rocking with your guy. But this is going to be my pinned comment after the show. What is the biggest position we need to draft in the first round next year? Is it quarterback? Is it offensive lineman? Is it a receiver? Is it a linebacker? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Not now, but afterwards. Please, after the live. All you got to do is click over to the channel. Make a comment, bro. Hit the like button. If y'all already hit the like button, please hit the like button. Damn. 300 views, 10 likes. 800 views the other night, 20-something likes. Y'all are killing me, man. Is my content that bad? Because if it is, fuck it. I will quit. I won't do this shit. But damn, help me out, please. Hit the like button. Because it sucks when you have that many people watch a video and they can't even push the little like button sitting right there. Like, it's rough, bro. It's rough in these streets. So yeah. Quarterback what? Quarterback? Oh, quarterback. That's who we need in the first round? You don't have faith in Cam Miller? You don't think he could potentially be that guy in 2 or 3 years when Geno leaves? I'd see that. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no to the quarterback. Unless it's Cade Klubnik out of Clemson. Unless it's the LSU quarterback in Bosenmeyer. What the hell is that kid's name? No. No. Unless it's one of those. No. But none of those are going to be available. You know why? Because we're not picking in the top 10. We're not picking in the top 15. We're going to be picking somewhere 15 to 20 range, 13 to 20 range. That's what I believe. We're going to be picking at the bottom half of the draft this year. I don't see us picking in the first round. That's why I'm saying if you have a chance to go get Trey Hendrickson and they want a first round, give it to them. Give it to them. Because it's not going to be a top pick. It's not going to be a top pick. It's going to be in the 15s, 20s, somewhere in there. That's my prediction. That's what I see. Chio Mex in the building. Shout out with the $50. Boom, baby. What's good? Appreciate you, my guy. Appreciate you showing love. So yeah, quarterback, I don't know. And damn, you my boy. But quarterback, This year, I don't know. I would much rather wait for Arch Manning. I mean, if we're being honest, right? I heard some people saying the Colts are tanking for Arch Manning already. So that's why they're putting in, Daniel Jones instead of Anthony Richardson. I think that's one of the worst takes I ever seen. Probably worse than my Aiden O'Connell takes. Uh, However, Archie Manning is not coming out next year, bro. His parents have already said. His agent has already said. Everybody's already said. The kid is staying in school. They want him to get an education. They don't want him to be a quarterback that could possibly get a concussion like Tua and and be out his first year and never play football again. And then what? Then you got nothing because you didn't graduate college. You don't have no skills. Like, they don't need the money, right? They don't need the fame. The Mannings aren't about any of that. And I don't know why people try to keep acting like this kid is just going to come out next year. He sat for 1 year, redshirt freshman, right? He's got 4 more years he could play. Does he play them all? I don't think so, because he's smart enough that he can get his degree in 2 or 3 years. So I'm waiting for Arch Manning, bro. I'm waiting for Arch Manning. Or if you want a mobile quarterback who's being coached by one of the best quarterback coaches, one of the best offensive minds I've seen in college in a long time, and Bobby Petrino, Taylon Green, bro. Taylon Green. Now, he struggles sometimes with his accuracy, but he is the most freakish athletic quarterback that I ever seen, bro. Better than Jaden Daniels, better than Anthony Richardson. Like, the man is 6'6". He runs into 4.4s, right? He's dynamic with the ball in his hands. And he's raw as hell, right? He played for Boise State 2 years ago, played for Arkansas last year under Bobby Petrino. Some of the practices I've been checking out for the Razorbacks down here in Fayetteville. Watch out for the Hogs. Watch out for the Hogs this year. If you watch college football, the Razorbacks have a ridiculous schedule again, man. They hate Arkansas, I swear. But they have a nasty team. They have one of the fastest receivers in all of the country. All of the country. And then they have Taylon Green, who can throw the ball 90 yards downfield. 6'6", athletic as hell. So, again, GeoMex, man, I appreciate you. Shout out with the $50. Boom! Keeping the lights on for sure. For sure. That should help me buy a fan to set up here. A quiet one. So I don't sweat to death, bro. I'm fucking dying in this bitch. I swear. Dying in this bitch. What else we got? I say the O-line, but I see us grabbing a linebacker or DB. Why didn't we take the linebacker Jahad Campbell? Why did we not take Jahad Campbell? Why does nobody listen to fucking Raiders Rebel? Why does nobody listen to Jimmy Rogers? Why does nobody listen to me? I said, Jahdae Barron. Take Jahdae Barron at 6. Y'all laughed at me. Y'all said I was dumb. I was stupid. I don't know ball. Okay. Jahdae Barron. Killing it for the Denver Broncos. Everybody on that defense has nothing but just over-the-top reviews for this kid. He's out there everywhere on the field. Tearing it up. Jahdae Barron. That would have been my 6th overall pick. Y'all said, you're going to pick a corner at 6? Yes. Charles Woodson worked out very, very well. Like, come on, bro. Yes, I am. And no, I'm not comparing him to Charles Woodson, but damn, Jahdae's a beast. Jahdae Barron, killing it. Jahad Campbell. They let him go to the Philadelphia fucking Eagles at 32 or 31. 30. Wherever. I don't know. Wherever they picked him. They're like, this dude might be starting. Come on. Might be starting. At linebacker. I tried to tell y'all. We could have very, 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 very easily took Jahdae Barron. We could have moved up in the draft easily. Not had to give up a lot of capital. Traded guys that, that we ended up trading anyways. Get rid of guys that we ended up letting go. We could have traded those guys. We could have moved up. Took Campbell. Took a Travion Henderson, who I said I said, yes, I was the first one on the Ashton Jeanty hype train, and everybody told me I was crazy. I get it. I get it. I get it. They all said I was dumb. You don't take a running back at 6. Well, we'll see. But I said, if you want an overall back that can block, that can catch out of the backfield, that can run kickoffs, that can run punt returns, Travion Henderson was my guy. A million videos out there. I talked about Travion Henderson. That was my second, I didn't have a 1 and 2. I had 1A and 1B. It was Henderson and it was Jeanty. Those were my guys. He's tearing it up over there. Running first touch ever. Kickoff return for a touchdown. So, Brian Thomas Jr., I had as the number 1 receiver last year. Watch out for him this year. Killed it last year. Like, there's so many guys. That we could have just got last year and shored up positions that we are, losing sleep over at night. I don't know about y'all, but I lose sleep over this shit. And if y'all don't, then damn, tell me your secret. Tell me your secret. You're missing the best one, Arch Manning. No, I didn't miss it. Raiders for life, baby. Raiders. Queef addiction. Oh, queef addict. What? Queefer addict. I thought you said queef addiction. Shout out to my guy. The day we start AOC at quarterback, we're tanking. We already started him at quarterback. And for that comment, we won 2 games that he started. This is why we were picking at 6 instead of 3 or 4. So, yeah, we're not tanking if we put in AOC, bro. Stop. Stop. Watch Jones drop it on the Raiders. Come on, man. I'll take the quarterback from SMU. Oh, the fuck is his name? I hear you. But I don't know. In the first round, we have to see what he does this year, man. We have to see what he does. You better go to the game with your girlfriend. She's coming for you. Or on me. What else we got? My guy Furpo in the building with the comment. Why is everyone worried about Jeanty being 5th? I watched a bunch of the RBs that are smaller. Emmett, Latamian, 5 foot. Oh, he's not. Yeah, Barry Sanders, right? The bus. I don't know why everybody's worried about his size. I think they're worried about more the way he runs, right? He runs powerful. He tries to initiate contact. He thinks he's Derrick Henry, and that's fine. Some guys have that complex. Chef in the building. What's good? Appreciate you, my guy. But I don't know. I think a lot of people were worried about him being drafted at 6th overall. I told y'all since day 1 I would have drafted Ashton Jeanty. He's gonna be a dog. He's got to stay healthy. He's gonna be a dog, man. Salute Raider Nation. Damn, GeoMex, right? Damn, Geo. Killing it over here. Don't lose sleep over this Rebel. Take a blinker instead. That sounds like a good ass idea. But I'm not gonna take a blinker. I'm gonna take the pupping co. I'm gonna take the pupping co. For that 50, shit, I gotta do something better than that. Let that warm up. Finally off work. Nice. How are you, Unleashed Rebel? I'm about to unleash on this season. That's what I'm about to do. Hold up. Y'all can only listen. Pause for the cause. And if you're a member of the Green Tree Nation, can I get green cheese in the chat? The green tree emoji. Green tree emoji. Actually, I don't know if they'll let me put it up, but I need to put up for my members only some kind of 420 thing or some trees or some shit. Everyone says drafted bad at 6, but every team would have took Genty at 7 through 30. 100% Furpo. 100%. You know, and a lot of those people that said, they wouldn't take Genty at 6. It was a waste. Um, you know, some of those people said, that's they shit, right? That's what they do. They were running backs in school. That's the position they played, and they still, after all the tape you could watch on Genty, still had no faith that that dude was gonna be, you know, and it's not proven yet, right? He still hasn't. He could still not be that guy, right? I mean, I will say this: I don't ever want to see him lower his shoulder like that again. I know it's fun. I know we love it. I know everybody wants to be posterized. I know everybody, wants to see the opposing team posterized. But I gotta take these glasses off, bro. It is hot as hell in here now. Wee, jeez, Louise. Ha, man. If you ever need to get heated up, that is the way. That is the way. Um, and I forgot what I was talking about. Shout out for the green trees. Yes, I love it. I love it. Um, I don't even know. I forgot. I totally forgot what I was saying. What was I talking about? Somebody tell me what I was talking about. Damn it. Oh, yeah. Ashley Genty. you know, there's a lot of people that played the position that you know are on ESPN that are all over, right? That are all over that say Ashton Genty wasn't him, right? They would have had Omarion Hampton. They would have took Quinshawn Judkins, right? They would have took Jafari Harvey, not Jafari Harvey, the other Harvey over there at the with the donkeys, right? You know that they all look good. They all look good. They all look good. Omarion Hampton did not look good when he tried to, battle with the sled and the sled whooped his ass. Like, did y'all see that video, Omarion Hampton? Y'all gotta go check it out. Didn't look good, right? So Ashton Genty so far, to me, has lived up to hype for the little bit of carries he's got. The one thing I will say is everybody, and I mean everybody, one of these days I'm gonna pull out the receipts, just to be a dick. Everybody, everybody said he couldn't pass block, right? He was horrible in pass pro. They showed film at Boise. They tried to break shit down and say, this man gets cooked. He never really was asked to pass block at in Boise. But he takes pride in it. He loves this shit. Bet y'all didn't know that. I told y'all. Before we drafted him, Ashton Genty takes pride in blocking, bro. He loves that shit. Being a little small guy, that's why he's so thick and powerful. He's got those legs. He's got the low center of gravity. If you can get under those big guys, man, you got a big ass advantage, right? You got a big ass advantage. So, I don't know. A lot of people said a lot of things about this young man, and now everybody's acting like, we all knew he was going to be picked at 6. We all knew he was going to be the shit. But, it is what it is. The man could pass block. He can catch out of the backfield. We had that discussion over and over again. But somehow, Ashton Genty, 2 years ago, led all running backs in receiving. So, obviously, he can catch, right? And we haven't seen any of that in the preseason. We haven't seen any of that. So nobody knows how good he is, how deep the wheel routes are going to be, right? If Geno could throw the ball 60 yards down the field and you get Ashton Genty one-on-one with a linebacker, come on. On a wheel route, man, this kid is going to be nasty if he stays healthy. So, yeah, Ashton Genty looking very, very, very good. But I don't want to see him get any more welcome moments, bro. I don't want to see him throw his shoulder, lower his shoulder like that. We all know he's got the low center of gravity, and he's going to get lower than everybody else. Way lower than everybody else. What else was in the news today? Let's go talk about some other shit. Well, now, I forgot. I was going to talk about something. What was it? I don't know. So, yeah, man. I don't think he's going to get a lot of carries. He might get, maybe 4 or 5 touches in the preseason. Pete Carroll did say everybody was live. And like I said, he said that last week. He said that the week before. Does that mean we will see the starters? I think that just means everybody's live. They're all ready to go if they're needed, right? Which it's preseason. They shouldn't be needed. So don't expect just because Pete Carroll said everybody's live that everybody's going to be out there. Some of the people, they might put out there. He might, like I said yesterday, surprise the shit out of us and have the starters just come out and dominate for a quarter, running a bunch of plays that will never run again. Hendrickson, you missed it, Chef. I'm all in. Depending on what it costs. Go back and rewind it. If you missed it. Oh, that's what I was talking about. I don't know when you came in or if you were just asking because it was on there. You be driving out that way tomorrow. Here? Oh, God. Woo woo. Somebody's gonna get their guts busted. Somebody's gonna get their guts busted. So yeah, our run game looks positive. Our running game looks positive. Ashton Genty looks, like he's ready. But again, there's a lot bigger guys in the NFL. And I don't know how many of the starters were out there when he got his couple carries in the first or second game, but it's going to be a different pace. It's going to be a different pace when the season starts, for sure. It's going to be more physical. And I don't want to see him in a tent again. I don't want to hold my breath the whole time that he's in a tent. I was literally purple, and I wasn't going to let my blood out until he was out of the tent, bro. Contract less than Crosby for Trey. I'm giving him whatever he wants. I think what Max is getting 33 this year and 35 next year, if I'm correct, somewhere in that range. I think he's wanting 34, but I think the biggest, like I said earlier, the biggest thing is guaranteed money. So, yes, man, if you could get him for that price, we can afford it. We're in win now mode, right? We're showing we need to win now. Pete Carroll said if you're going to win, you have to beat the guys in the division. How better do you beat the guys in the division than to get to their quarterback, than to make their quarterback make mistakes? When you have two of the best to ever do it on one on each side, man, come on. And then, somebody said he was 30 years old. 30 years old ain't shit, bro. I'm 50. I still do 100 push-ups a day. So, that ain't, age is just a state of mind. Yes, you're going to slow down. But then you just move them over. You move them over to the 5 or 4 technique, or to the 4 technique, the 3 technique. I mean, you put him inside, 2 technique, whatever. Make him a nose tackle. Shit, he's big enough, right? Um, so even if Trey is 30 years old, bro, come on. Like I said, it's age is a state of mind. He's a dog. 17 sacks last year. Um, Matter of fact, let's just pull up all his numbers. 17 sacks last year. I believe he's had 35 in the last 2 years. Let's pull it up. Let's pull it up. You know how we do. I don't know why I didn't just have those ready. All right, so over his career, let's just look at the short, the short side of it. Y'all want me to put it on the screen, or do you believe me? I'll put it on the screen. Y'all don't believe shit I say. All right, Trey in the building. Let's go with share screen. Right here, right there. This one, yes. Boom. All right. So I can't see me. I hate when y'all can't see me. Get this one over here. Ta-da. All right. So trade to the Hendrickson. Let's just start from the bottom. Whew. All right. First season, right? He had 13. All right. I hate that stat. That's horrible. I don't like the way that looks. Let's change that. Much better, much better. So over his career, he has 220 tackles. Or I don't know. Yeah, tackles. He has 151 solo tackles. He has 69 assisted. It's a huge difference. Most guys have more assisted than they have solo. So we already know what this man is. Like, if y'all don't think he's worth it, it's just crazy. Sacks, 77 in his career. 14 forced fumbles. 14. I think Max Crosby has 2 or 3. 14. We need turnovers. We were minus 16 in takeaways last year. We need that. We need that. We need that badly. And it doesn't matter what it costs. It doesn't matter what it costs. If we want to be the Legion of a Legion of Boom, a Legion of Doom, the DOD Dungeon of Doom, the Sin City Misfits, all that shit, whatever. I like the Sin City Misfits. I don't know about y'all, but if we want to be a defense that's named because they destroy quarterbacks, because they cause turnovers, because they fuck shit up, excuse my language, YouTube, you go get Trey Hendrickson, bro. You go get Trey. Tackles for loss. Wait, 28? That's not right. Yards lost, 38. I mean, that's damn good numbers. That's damn good numbers. Let's go back to this other one. So, how many years? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 years. 8 years. With the Saints, he didn't really play, right? He didn't really play. But since 2020, he's had more sacks every single year, except 2. He was a half off than Max Crosby's highest sack total. So this dude is him, bro. He's up there. He's a Max Crosby, 2.0, whatever you want to call it, equal. If you look at these stats, bro, look at these stats. In 2020, he had 13 and a half sacks. In 2021, he had 14 sacks. Max Crosby's highest career total for a season, I believe, is 14.5. In 2022, I don't know how many games he played. I'll look it up here in a second. He only had 8 sacks, but I think he missed a lot of games. 2023, 17 and a half sacks. 2024, 17 and a half sacks. You cannot, you cannot deny the fact that this man is worth absolutely every single penny. Now, the only thing I'm going to question, shout out for the 99-cent sticker, Raider fan for life, appreciate you. The only thing I'm going to question is I really think Charles Snowden has a whole lot of upside. I really think Jafari Harvey has a lot of upside. I really think Ja Joyner has a lot of upside. I really think Malcolm Koonce still has a whole lot of upside. Who are they trading for him? Again, who are they going to take away, and who's going to get released, right? Who gets put on a practice squad that somebody's going to have to pick up, right? Because if any of those guys get put on the practice squad, I mean, you have to throw them in a trade, right? In my opinion. So, are the Raiders in that desperate of a win now mode? Are the Las Vegas Raiders that desperate in win now mode that they have to go out and get a Trey Hendrickson and trade away guys like maybe a Amari Gaynor, maybe a Tyree Wilson, maybe a corner, right? Like Eric Stokes or a Kai Blue Kelly who's been showing out. Maybe some of these guys, maybe Trey Taylor, who might not make this team, gets thrown in a trade package. Maybe he'll fit that team. The Bengals need all the help they can get. So are the Raiders desperate enough to go, give all that away and risk giving up some of these young guys that they think can develop into, a star player like that eventually one day? That's the only question I have. But still, I really don't see any one of those guys. Tyree Wilson, right? Malcolm Koonce, maybe possibly Charles Snowden in the next couple years if he gets more playtime. But I don't see any of those guys I mentioned getting 17 and a half sacks ever in their career. Now, if they do, shit, I'll say I was wrong, right? And shout out to them. But unless they're on a crazy team, or Malcolm Koonce just has the craziest year ever, which I think he can once you start doubling, once you have to start doubling Max Crosby, and once everybody finds out you're going to have to double Thomas Booker and guys like Jonah Lalu and Tyree Wilson pretty soon, Adam Butler, there's not enough guys on the offense to double all these guys. So some of these guys are going to be nasty, man. But I really like what I see in Charles Snowden. I think his progression from the games he played in last year to what I've seen in preseason this year, forget about the DUI, right? Like, hopefully he learned his lesson. And I was a big believer saying, man, I don't know. Is he going to have problems? Like, we don't need that on the team. But damn, I'm willing to look past it. If he keeps playing like that, shit. What DUI? I never heard of no DUI. That's my opinion. Third rounder or a player maybe. Yeah, that's I mean, no. I heard Mitchell Wren say, a third rounder. That's crazy, bro. You're not getting Trey Hendricks. You're not getting Trey Hendricks for Hendrickson for a third rounder. Even if you throw in Tyree and Malcolm Koonce, maybe both of those you could. Maybe two players you could. But there's no one player, I believe, not even Koonce or Jamal Adams as good as he's playing, right? Or, maybe a third round pick like Darian Porter, if you want to go crazy, then maybe. But I don't see it. I don't see a third, like, unless they get desperate. There is a chance that not many teams can afford them, right? Not many teams have the salary cap the Raiders have. I think there's 5 teams. I'm pretty sure there's 5 teams above us that have enough salary cap that they can actually afford it. Of course, every team could cut players. They could work it into their shit. But I think the Raiders have a chance. I think we have a way better chance than we do with Micah Parsons, which I'd love to have Micah Parsons. Either one. I'll take either one. The Raiders need both, but a third round, I think it's gonna, have to be a second, maybe a second and a, second and a fifth. They're gonna want capital. They're gonna want capital. They know what they got in Trey Hendrickson. The NFL knows what they got in Trey Hendrickson. Like, come on. 17 and a half sacks, 17 and a half sacks, back-to-back years. If you put him on a team like the Raiders with Pete Carroll, with Patrick Graham, well, Patrick Graham in the lab having Max Crosby and Trey Hendrickson would be the greatest thing ever. I think they could be the greatest duo to ever walk the face of the earth, bro. They would be on quarterbacks like White on Rice, like literally. I'm telling you, like White on Rice, one on one side, one on the other. Quarterbacks would hate that duo. Running backs would hate that duo. What are you gonna do? Run up the middle every time? You just stack it with Booker, with Thomas Booker, Adam Butler. Come on, you ain't running up the middle too much, right? Maybe switch up to five defensive linemen, because I mean, when you got those guys, shit, you could probably switch it up to a was it 5-2-4? Yeah, probably mix it up like that. And I'm sure they would. I'm sure they would. I think Patrick Graham would go crazy in the lab, bro. Crazy in the lab having that. So, I mean, obviously, you want to start low and be like, a third and whatever. But, dude, if we get him for a third round and whatever we give away, it's a steal. It's a steal. So, I hope, whoever came up with the third round and a player idea, I heard it from Hondo Carpenter earlier. Somebody sent me a clip of that also before I went live. So shout out to the people sending me clips, keeping me in the loop. I love y'all. Y'all are real ones. And everybody in this chat that always rocks with me is real ones. Y'all already know. And Spytech, what you said right there, Spytech. Spytech knows how to, he's like a car salesman, like Howie Roseman. I call Howie Roseman a car salesman all the time, bro. He could sell the shirt off your back to you. He'd be like, bro, I guarantee you, bro. He sell you your own shoes, man. Howie Roseman is a wheeling and dealing swindler, bro. He's like a gypsy, bro. He's gonna get whatever he wants from you. And I think Spytech learned a lot of that being around him, and being around guys he was in Tampa, right? So I have trust in Spytech. Everybody says, in Pete we trust. It should be in the organization we trust right now. I don't think it's just Pete, right? It's Pete, it's Spytech, it's definitely Tom Brady. I believe in this organization right now. I think more than I ever have in my life with the people they have in the building, with the people calling the shots. I'm pumped, man. I'm pumped. Breaking news, trade to the Raiders on ESPN. Shut up, Cairo. Shut up. I'm going to look just because you're a troll. But, man, that's not even funny. Oh, God. Mock trade. Henderson. Anthony Richardson for Aiden O'Connell. A third or a fourth round pick. What do y'all say? Yes or no? Anthony Richardson, Aiden O'Connell for a third or a fourth? That's hilarious. I'm bookmarking that. You're crazy, bro. I don't see nothing. I don't see nothing. Don't play with me, dog. Don't play with me. That shit ain't funny. That shit ain't funny. I'll come find you, Gyro. I will find you. Not giving a first rounder? No, I don't. I don't feel we're giving a first rounder. I said I would. I would give a first rounder. No problem. Like I said, because I don't think it's going to be in the top 10. Now, if I felt, if I was the coach of the team and felt like, damn, this could be a rough year and we're going to struggle, then I wouldn't be willing to give it up. But I think this team's going to be better than people think. And I think, If we did give it up, a lot of people would be pissed. But I think at the end of the season, when they realized, okay, damn, we're not picking that high, I think a lot of people would be happy with it if we did go that route. But Spytek is a dog, bro. He wants those picks. I don't see him giving up a lot of picks. A third round is nothing. We have, I do believe, 2 4th rounds and a fifth coming from, and possibly another fifth, right? We have four picks coming next year. Is that correct? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, right? Depending on what they do. But we gave up Trayvon Moehrig, right? That should be a 4th round pick for what they paid for him. And then if he balls out, makes the Pro Bowl and shit, I think it goes to a third. I think you can only get 1/3. Robert Spillane. Robert Spillane should be a 4th round pick. Minimum 5th, right? Possibly a third if he makes a Pro Bowl and balls the hell out, right? I think it works. That's how it works. Then you have who else did we lose? Marcus Epps. We lost Marcus Epps. That's another guy, bro. I even forgot about that. So we lost Marcus Epps, Divine Diablo, and I'm missing one. Nate Hobbs. How the fuck could I forget Nate Hobbs? We lost Nate Hobbs. All 5 of those players have potential to be Pro Bowl players on their team, and if that happens, then bro, we have a lot of picks to give away. That's something that nobody else is talking about. So you heard it here first. Raiders Unleashed. No, I'm just kidding. For all your Raiders info, no fluff, real talk, real talk. We have the picks, man. We have the picks that we could throw away, right? We could gamble. We're in Vegas. We could roll the dice, spin that flipping craps table, see if it lands on, what number is he? 91? 91 black? What the fuck? Is it 91? I don't know. There's no 91 black. I know. But that's what I'm saying. It's a crapshoot, man. If you could get it, if you think that, damn, one of these players we gave up is going to be worth at least a 3rd or 4th round compensation pick next year, you have to. You kind of have to, man. Kind of have to. You kind of have to. It's a chief highlight on ESPN. Take notes. What? He's trolling. Damn it. Do that to me. I'm telling you, Gyro. Okay. Unhide him. He's timed out for 24 hours. Bye-bye. Peace. Peace. The queen has spoken, bro. The queen has spoken. You ain't got to go home. You got to get the out of here. Rebel, I looked up just 4th round, lost 4 players, and picked up 3 players. Thought we lost 5. Marcus Epps too, right? We lost Epps, Divine Diablo, Nate Hobbs, Robert Spillane. All of them were there. Oh, Epps was only there 2 years, but he's a veteran, so I don't know. I don't know, but that's cool. I mean, I'm good with that though, right? We only get 1/4, but still, that 1/4 could possibly turn into a third, though, right? I do believe. And if that's the case, that's what I'm saying. If that 1/4 can possibly turn into a third, and I could be wrong, I'll make sure I write that down. Make sure I look it up. But yeah, for sure. Again, you gotta take a chance, man. You gotta take a chance. Again, man. Again, this defense has a chance to be special. We played the Cardinals in the last preseason game in Arizona. If you can make it, pull up, man. Tickets are cheap. Tickets are cheap, right? Pull up, show out. it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. There's gonna be a lot of young players. Hopefully, we see Cam Miller for a whole entire half. Maybe we see the starters a little bit. Um, but it's gonna be fun to watch, right? I enjoyed the last two preseason games. I'm not worried about the final result. I was worried about the fact that we didn't get blown out like some of these teams, right? A lot of these teams have got murdered. Didn't the Broncos beat somebody like 38-0? It's like, didn't the Patriots win like 47-3 or 6 or some shit? I don't know. But some of these teams have been absolutely blown out of the water, right? We haven't. We haven't. With horrible quarterback play in the preseason from Aiden O'Connell, we somehow still managed to drive down and kick field goals enough to stay in games. We haven't been dog walked. We haven't been beat. Yes, we've given up yards. Yes, we've played a bend don't break defense. But I've seen a lot of good signs. I've seen a lot of fight in these dogs. We haven't given up. We haven't quit. And most of all, we have just competed, baby. So, I love y'all. Peace out. I'm going to go. Raiders! Much love to all my people in the building. Much love to my guy Geo Mex keeping the lights on. Oh, and I almost forgot. There will be a giveaway here very, very shortly. Pop over to candyangel.com/rebel merch. Check out the shit that's in there. Let me know what you want. If you want anything, if you like anything, if you don't, just let me know. Let me know. It's no hate, no criticism. I need to know from y'all. So I don't have anybody's emails. Nobody follows me on Instagram. I mean, I have no way to send y'all shit and be like, hey, yes or no, yay or nay, trash or garbage, fire or shit. So if y'all would just do me a favor when you pop off here, 12 people in the building, man, hop over there. Just go look through the shit. Let me know. There will be a giveaway. Somebody was very nice, very nice. I don't know who it was. Double salute. Somebody popped over there last night or the night before and left a $25 gift card. And somebody else left another gift card. So there was a little bit of money on a gift card. And I don't need the merch. So if y'all want it, if y'all want to rock the Fuck the Other 31 t-shirt, it says Only One Nation on the front. Man, just go check this shit out, bro. I'm tired of repping and trying to talk about it. But I can't do giveaways if I don't know what y'all like. So that's the point. Go check it out. And send me DMs. Send me DMs. All the shit's right here, bro. Right here on the bottom. Look. Right here. Right here. All the links are in the description. All the links are in my community page. All my links are everywhere. I can't build a family and grow this community if y'all don't communicate with me except for right here in the chat. So help me out. If you want to see this channel continue to grow and have success and have a bigger following, more people in here for y'all to talk shit on, talk shit about, which for some reason we don't do that in here much. Which shout out to y'all guys, everybody being respectful. I appreciate y'all again. Shout out again for the $5 holla. Raider fan for life. You are I am your fan for life. Absolutely. I owe you. Again, I got the email. I still need to know what the shirt is you want. Let me know. If you don't want the shirt, if you want the pants, if you want the shorts, if you want the hat, whatever it is, man, whatever it is, let me know so I can send it to you. Geomax also, man, my guy. If you're still in here, email me, bro. Email me. It's right there on the bottom. Follow me on Twitter. RaidersRebel _. It's simple. Let me know. DM me on Instagram. But hit me up, man. I got something for you. You're constantly giving to the channel, constantly supporting, and it doesn't go unnoticed. So, you show support, and I want to show support for you showing support. And, say thanks for just always being here. And yeah, that's what I gotta say, man. Appreciate you always being here, always showing love. And I got something for you. So go over there, check it out, DM me, let me know what you like. And something might be on the way. And get your shit before the season, bro. Al Davis. Rest in Raider Paradise. RIRP. Go check it out. Go check it out. All right, I'm done repping. I appreciate y'all. Much love. Raiders. I'm always grinding. Peace. Much love. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Take care of your family. Take care of this nation. Also, if you ever need to talk, the hotline is always open, bro. Community page. It's posted. It's pinned in there. Hotline is always open. My 2 cents. Appreciate you. So, much love. Peace.